Hello and welcome to Azariah's Studio. My name is Sarah. I am the artist and designer behind Azariah's Studio. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a fork to make a pom-pom. Now, this is how I make the pom-pom for the bunny in my beginning Amigurumi pattern. I have these two forks here to show you the difference. So this is the 3-prong appetizer fork that I'm referring to in the pattern, compared to a regular dinner fork. I just wanted you to see the difference. I won't need the dinner fork. I'm going to use this. I've got worsted weight yarn and a pair of scissors. You want to cut a tail that will be used to tie up your pom-pom, and it goes in between a couple of the tines. Yes, because there's 3, it's not even. It'll be okay. Right. I popped that ball of yarn into a bowl that is off screen, and now you're going to wind your yarn around your fork. Just put the tail with the tail of that beginning yarn, and depending on the number of times you wind it will depend on how big and fluffy your pom-pom is. My mom's rule of thumb is 25 for a small one and 50 for a really big one. We're going to do just 20 on this one because the bunny's kind of small. 4, 6, bring the working yarn down to be with that beginning tail. Pull them off into one hand, and then get that first one that you put through the tines of the fork and bring it up here. See what I did there? I tightened things up so nothing's going to go anywhere now. And turn over to the back of the fork. It can lay on the table now. And you want to tie this as tight as you possibly can. Yeah. See this loop here? I want to pull that. Okay, I'm not going to be able to get it completely tight. And if you get it too tight, you won't be able to get things off the fork. So just the one time, don't go 2 yet. Okay, slide it, hold on real tight down there. Go ahead and slide your fork out. And just adjust this slightly, because remember it was off center, just a little, not horribly. Okay, we're going to tie it again. This will take you some practice to make a pom-pom this way. There's probably going to be some frustration, honestly. It's probably going to pop apart on the first 1 or 2 before you successfully get it tied. If you don't want to use a fork, they do make other kinds of pom-pom makers, and that's exactly what they're called. Just Google pom-pom maker, and I'm sure you'll come up with all kinds of different kinds, other do-it-yourself kinds, and then the more elaborate type ones. There are 2-piece ones. There's single-piece ones that look like half moons. I just don't know that any of them will make pom-poms this small. All right, cut your working yarn over here. All right, these 2 are the tail I started with between the prongs. You don't want to cut these 2. Everybody else, and this is where a pointier pair of scissors would come in handy. You're just going to cut the loops. I try and do one side before I do the second side. No particular reason other than I just like to know that all the loops are cut on one side before I go to the second one. It won't make any difference. I just don't want to miss anything. You can already see the pom-poms kind of starting to take shape. One right there. And if you do end up missing one, it's not like it's a huge deal. Okay. Now, these two long guys here are beginning and ending tails. They can come off now. All right. Fluff it up a bit. Probably could have had some more ends in there because you can see such definition there. 20 wasn't quite enough, but this is how you learn. If you're making a pom-pom for a particular project, like if you're making it for this bunny, use yarn of the same weight and the same fiber content, so that but that is not the project yarn. So same weight, same fiber content, not the project yarn, and make some practice ones so that you're not wasting your project yarn. Because if you're at the end, you may end up running out and not actually get a tail made that you like. If you're at the beginning doing this, you may end up with a tail made that you like and then not have enough to complete the bunny. Make notes of what fork you used, what yarn, maybe even take pictures. You know, we can store so many things in so many different places now that we don't really have an excuse to not make notes of how many times you went around the fork and didn't like it, did like it. Not saying you have to keep all the pom-poms. That's what's great now. We don't have to keep all these things, especially since they're pom-poms. Swatches, different story. But pom-poms, you line them up, you take a picture, and maybe they had a little, like a flag sticky, or you go in and edit after the fact. This one had 20 wraps. This one had 25. This one had 30. And then you make a note on your pattern of which one that you chose that you liked. So for the bunny, I would do more wraps than this. We're going to say that this one's good though. And then, so the next step would be to clean it up. So this would have to come off. Get that out of the way. Anything that you see that's like sticking out real bad. This is why pom-poms can get messy. I remember that from being a kid because my mom did a lot of pom-poms. And there would be these little piles of fluff. And then on a pom-pom that is full enough, you'll get everybody evened out. Here's some over here. And then fluff it out like this, and the whole thing will be rounded. Let me go get the bunny and I'll show you. All right, I've got the bunny. See his tail? It's all fluffed. Oh, look. I missed some. That's funny. He's been done for a long time. So, but you can see the difference. So this is 20. This is the fork I used. I'm not sure how many this is. It's more than 25. I'm going to guess 30 or 35 even. See, when my mom was making pom-poms with the rule of 25 and then 50, she was using her 2 fingers. She would, much longer than this, of course, she would take the yarn and lay it here. And then she just knew. She would start with them a little ways apart because even, unless you put something between your fingers, as you wind, it's going to pull. And it's not even that your fingers get tired. The same thing happens when I make fringe on my fringe maker. When I get out to these edges, it's pulling it tighter and tighter. It's just the nature of it. So she would 25 times around her fingers, tie it up. That was a small one. Small would be about like this. And then 50 times around, same fingers, just the same two, and it would be substantially bigger. She was also making bunnies, just a different kind. So you can see the difference there. This is what you want. This is a good experiment and a good place to start. And that is how I used an appetizer fork as a pom-pom maker. Thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to like and subscribe. If you have more questions, you can always email me, Sarah@azariasfiberarts.com, or drop a comment below. Happy making!